Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taddy. I'm an astrologer and I make videos on astrology, self-growth, self-care, self-love. So if that interests you, please continue watching, please subscribe. And in this video, I'll be talking about Pisces risings or Pisces ascendants. And before I delve into this placement, I first want to mention that I have one-on-one birth chart readings available. If you want to check that out, the link for that is down below. And if you're interested in joining a welcoming, supportive, creative, astrology community, the link for that is down below as well, where I host monthly events and it's just a safe space to make new friends. So yeah, feel free to check that out. Before I get into this specific placement, what is your rising sign? Your rising sign is your perspective on life and the world. A lot of astrologers can kind of say that it is how you appear to other people, and that is true, but more so it is how you move about the world, and that's going to impact and change your life essentially based on this. So you kind of need to know the exact time of birth to know your rising sign. So keep that in mind. You need the exact minute. Yeah, let's get into Pisces risings or Pisces ascendants. I love this placement. I think Pisces risings are so magical. They're so empathic. They're so artistic. They're so intuitive. And there's so many reasons for this. And I want to break this down before I get into the strengths and challenges of them. First off, their chart ruler is Jupiter and Neptune. And what your chart ruler is essentially the planet in your birth chart that really holds a heavy weight, I would say so. And that's my personal perspective and what I've seen from other people, because it's going to show more of your unique personality based on the house, based on the aspects, and also your perspective, because that is dictating a bit of your perspective on how you see the world. So the chart ruler for Pisces is, there's actually two planets. There's Jupiter and Neptune, and Jupiter is the traditional ruler, whereas Neptune is the more modern day ruler. So when I do a birth chart reading, I kind of look at these two placements very heavily, and this is going to tell me a bit of information about how that person perceives the world, and that's going to dictate a bit of how they move about the world. So for example, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's the planet of growth, and it seeks knowledge, it loves to travel. And I do see a lot of Pisces risings that love to travel in different ways, if not physically, more so spiritually, or they could want to travel in terms of what they learn. They're very, very open-minded. They're very open-minded and empathic, and they're so unique in terms of how they intuitively feel, because they ultimately know that we are all connected, and they know this deep down intuitively. They can feel everyone's energy really, really easily. This is one of their greatest strengths, but also their greatest challenge, because they have to learn how to protect their energy. They need to learn how to set boundaries, and boundaries is the hardest challenge for them because they want to be loved. Pisces risings are very romantic. They're very loving. They're very caring. They can give so much, and they have to be careful of not falling into codependent patterns that are negative. Codependency can be, that's a whole separate video. So yeah, what Pisces risings have to learn this lifetime is to really learn how to set boundaries, really express themselves, be creative, and also learn that there's always more to learn. There's always room for growth. And this is what really interests them. This is what excites them. Their other chart ruler is Neptune. And when I think of Neptune, I think of the daydreamer of Pisces. I think of the visionary of Pisces. Neptune is the planet of confusion, the planet of dreams, the planet of, it really showcases art. It is a very spiritual planet as well, and it can really show us aspects that are different and unique. And the downside of Neptune is that when there's so much confusion and you don't know whose energy is what, and you're just confused about where you end and someone else's begins. I know that sounds very, very spiritual, but I think it's very important to mention with Pisces risings because they are very, very intuitive energetically, and they have to be very careful about boundaries, right? And being too lost. I think Neptune can kind of, they can be in places where they want to get lost. They want to like delve in, and then they're just gone for a bit, and they have to kind of pull themselves out. Mindfulness practices can really help them with this. So meditation, journaling, walk like long walks can really help them ground themselves. So I think Pisces risings really benefit from grounding practices. What I love about Pisces risings is that they're so in tune with the arts. They're very, very creative. They're very much seeing things in a very visionary way. So they want love for everyone. They're the last sign of the zodiac, so they have a lot of wisdom that not many people see clearly, but they have this deep, deep, deep wisdom about them. And this is a deep knowing of things that sometimes they don't understand fully. So it's a very, very interesting placement to me because how they move about life, they can really help people shift their perspectives in new ways. They can be there for them, they can be validating, they can be very much people who want to support others and want to support the arts, want to support growth and healing practices, because I see this placement as healers, right? They would make amazing healers, amazing teachers too, because their midheaven is in Sagittarius. So their career sector and more so about their legacy can be a lot about teaching others or about growth and expansion or just seeking knowledge in new ways. The other thing I want to mention about Pisces risings is that they are about duality, right? I see Pisces as the yin and yang. You have the two fish there, and balance is something that they very much seek and what they crave. Their partnership sign is Virgo. They are seeking people who are more organized and more disciplined and very much helping them learn about the earthly magic, which is like the everyday routine. So Pisces can learn a lot from people who are very routine oriented, very much grounded, and they can kind of use that energy more so for their own lives. It's still a beautiful thing to daydream, but I think when they pull in those aspects of routine and when to daydream and when to ground themselves, that's when they see the beautiful aspects of balance. When I think about Jupiter being the chart ruler for Pisces risings, I'm going to use the example of Jupiter in Leo. That means you want to expand and grow in very artistic ways. You want to expand and grow your community, your sense of self, your sense of authentic self. You want to create, you want to just show love in a very outwards manner in terms of expression, self-expression, artistic expression. So really check the sign for your Jupiter, for your Neptune, and if you want a full video on this, let me know in the comments down below. Pisces are also a mutable sign. So when your rising sign, it's a water sign, it's a mutable sign, this tells me that Pisces risings are very adaptable. They're very much go with the flow, and they can also be very good in different environments and situations. They kind of can blend in to a lot of different things, and I think this is one of their greatest strengths too, because they're so adaptable, they're so empathetic. The only downfall to this is that if they are blending into everywhere and everything, they can absorb that energy quite easily. So they kind of have to know when to just go about things themselves. And they are very relationship oriented because of that duality. Partnerships really, really benefit them. So they have to know when to be in relationship and not to get lost in that relationship as well. because they are such romantics too. When you're in the presence of a Pisces risings, they're so mystical, they're so ethereal. I feel like their presence immediately is healing. Like, you just feel calm, you feel safe, and they understand. They truly understand what you're going through a lot of the time, because as old souls, because they're the last sign of the zodiac, they have been through a lot, they've seen a lot, and growing up, this could have been shown to them in different ways, but I kind of see them having to grow up in a way where they were taught that they need to prioritize other people's needs, they need to prioritize the emotional aspect of things more so than themselves. So they need to prioritize other people's emotions over their own. And I think this is something that I've seen throughout a lot of my readings. So please take it with a grain of salt. But I think it's important to say that they have to learn to prioritize their needs first before they can help other people, so that they can take care of themselves first, and they want to be there for others. But if they're not there for themselves, if they're not showing up for themselves, who else is showing up for them, right? You always have to show up for yourself first. What they learn is distance and space. I kind of always see Pisces placements, especially rising signs, that maybe one parent wasn't around all the time. Maybe they were going in and out of their lives. And this could have been a bit emotional for you growing up. And that's valid and fair. So, like, their life lesson is to really learn how to balance out the space between them and another person. Like, what is too much? Are they giving too much? Are they giving too much space? Are they not being there enough? Right? It's this struggle of constantly wanting a balance. So they kind of have to learn what feels good to them and check in with themselves more so. So they have to ask themselves first daily, like, hey, is this enough? Am I good? Who can I check in with today? Can I check in with someone today? So this is something that they really should keep in mind. In summary, what I love about Pisces risings are that they're so empathetic, they're so creative, they're so mystical, they're so ethereal. They can be quite spiritual, they can be quite intuitive, and I think they have so many amazing strengths that they can lean on. And I always am just so fascinated by what Pisces risings create, and just their presence as well. They can be so healing. So I'm so curious if this resonated with you. Please let me know in the comments, because I really, really would love to know. And if you have any Pisces rising friends, please send them this video and let them know that you see them, that you love them. If you are interested in a one-on-one session with me to look at your birth chart, you can check that out down below. And if you'd like to join a welcoming, supportive, collaborative, creative astrology and art community, the link for that will be down below as well. Again, let me know what videos you want to see next. And thank you again. I just want to say the universe has your back, and with peace and love, take care. Bye.